Till later it was revealed actually what had happened with the cam video showing what had happened and why he ran over, which he was unaware that there was any shots, Joseph Mtg, in the BART station, leaving his territorial jurisdiction, going across the street to see exactly what happened, gun drawn. And so the story and the narrative that was told is not the same as what we saw.
I understand what you're saying, and I think this is one reason why it's important for us to actually look at the sworn statements by all the witnesses, including the officer. So the officer was interviewed for personnel reasons. We don't have access to that, and we talked about this last week, that the personnel, I think that Cat Brooks also agreed that the police officers have a bill of rights for their personnel. But what we do have is a statement that he gave to the Oakland police, and we observed that statement and we're part of it. We also have statements from other witnesses who were there. And so those are what people saw from their perspective. We're looking at all those, and we do have all of those statements. If we don't physically have, we have reviewed them, but I know we have them. But then the second part is that there is other forensic evidence that we need to address, we need to look at, to be able to make a final determination. And once again, I don't want to say it in a way that makes you think that there's already a decision. There isn't, and it's a complicated case.
Well, I'm certainly happy to hear that a decision have not been made, other than the decision that I'm actually looking for is to be charged and convicted for the murder of my son, Sahleem-Mtg. I don't want this to go on and on, because I'm still grieving, and at the same time I'm looking for results, favorable results for myself and my family, my community, and the community as well. Just, it's so many African American males that's being murdered by the hands of cops, and the loophole that is convenient for them is that this was fear, this is threat. The African American man is a threat to society. So therefore they're being taught, which is erroneous thought. It's a thought pattern of death, to take life conveniently, inconveniently, to get away with it. Someone have to be held accountable for these murders.
That's right.
And it's high time, and the time is now. The time is now. And as I spoke with you last week, I talked to you about the Mosaic Law. The Constitution was built on the Mosaic Law, and we need to go back to doing things and holding people accountable for their actions and their deeds. You can reform and routine and all of these other things, but the reform starts in the heart, soul, and the mind. And if we don't get it, then it's going to continue to be a lawless state. And it's turning into a lawless state where everybody will turn on each other after a while, because where there's no rules and no regulation, there's no stability. And there have not been no stability. With the district attorney in office, one person in power and holding that power. That's why I'm coming to you, because you do hold the power. You hold the power to convict this man and to give a judgment that is fair. They're trying to change the law from reasonable to necessary. So it's too broad. A lot of things are just too broad as far as I'm concerned, but they will be saying it's reasonably necessary. So it play on words, but I'm here. I can't save the world, and I'm not trying to, but I'm here for this man, Joseph Mtg. I'm here for my son, Sahleem-Mtg. And I want to do everything in my power, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that this is done, because it's time. I'm so sad. You cry after a while, and you have to put action forth. And the word have gone out. My son still live within me. His spirits live. We went to BART. We talked to the BART Commission, and they was unaware that he was being promoted.
Yes.
Why would you promote a man that have murdered someone? What type of mind are you sending out? What type of understanding are you giving to these officers? Because like I said, all officers are not with the same mind or have the same characteristics or attributes, but you're sending out the captain to say these things that he's a hero. Wrong wording. Or he should be promoted. Wrong wording. He should not be promoted. And the BART said that they was unaware that he was being promoted. So I'm making you aware, if you don't know, that we were there. And we're going to be there. And we're going to be there in their face. And we're going to be here in your face, Miss O'Malley. And I know you're running for re-election. I just want you to do the right thing. Because I know since you've been in office, no police officer have been held accountable for their actions and deeds. And I'm just praying that you are the woman that will do what is right. That's what I'm asking for. And do a investigation that is also thorough but not long drawn. You know, because there's other officers involved. You know, even the young man that my son got in an altercation with, which I don't know his name, they haven't put it out there. So I hear that the officer actually were friends with the guy that my son was scuffling with, and that he knew him because he was a panhandler at the BART. So he knew him quite well. So I want to let you know that I'm certainly doing investigation as well, which a mother should do, which you could expect a woman to do, is to look into it. And I'm the mother, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Sister Hafia.
We just wanted to know also, we met with you on April 2nd, your Miss Andrea was here.
Yes.
And she had gave us a card and asked us to send the letter from Matu's cousin. And I sent it the next day, but I hear yesterday or the day before, they were calling again asking for the letter. So I was wondering why did she not let you know that she had already received it, and also replied thank you on that day, the 3rd April.
Well, I don't know why she didn't reply thank you, but.
No, she did reply thank you. I was letting you know that she actually sent the reply.
So what I understand is, when I spoke with her, that we don't have the contact information for whoever wrote the letter. We know there's a relationship that, as you shared, but she was reaching out to say, who is it? And how do we reach that person? So that's why she was trying to contact you. And she's been trying to figure it out. So
she had asked for a copy of the letter, and I had the receipt that she had already received it. So I was just wondering why was she asking for the copy again.
I don't think that we'll ask her.
Okay.
But what I understand is that the email came from your email or someone's without the original email from the writer of the letter. So that's where she doesn't know. She doesn't know who the writer, the contact information for the writer. She has yours. So she's around, and so before you leave, if we can just have a minute, so you can give her the name of the person that wrote the letter. Because
I think that was already done as well.
Okay, well.
Right, did she get the name?
There may be some confusion, because I just talked to her before you came in.
Okay, and then also, is it proper police protocol to promote someone in the midst of investigation?
You know, that's a personnel thing, and so I think that I learned about it the way you learned about it, that it was something that was in the works, and then they withdrew it or stopped it or something, which I think is smart. He shouldn't be promoted when there's an investigation going on.
Right.
But I don't have any authority over that. That's the personnel stuff, and so.
And is there anything new since we saw you before that you can let us know on your behalf, what you've looked into or what you've seen so far with the investigation?
What I was sharing earlier is that we're working with identifying the right forensic video people that are outside of the law enforcement circle, that we're looking at forensic evidence, like issues around the gun that was there and things like that. So those take time because we're sending them to crime labs outside of Oakland. So we're engaging outsiders to be able to give us the analysis. Okay. And we don't have the analysis from some of them back yet.
Do you have any thoughts on anything that you've seen so far, though?
I'm not gonna really, I really am doing my very